Welcome to JHart Modelworks. In this episode, I'm going to be going through what's in the box for the newest re-release of the Lamborghini Miura P400 SV by Hasegawa. Welcome to my workbench. Let's get started. Alright, so this is the next kit on the bench. This is the Lamborghini Miura P400 SV. This is a very popular kit for Hasegawa, and every few years or so they seem to re-release it. In 2020, in April, they re-released this version of the kit, the detail up version, as well as in 2020 they released just a base version with the red car on it. And they also released a Lamborghini Jota SVR in 2020 as well. As far as the two Miuras go, the only difference that I can tell between the red car box and this one, the detail up version contains a photo etch fret. It's a very small photo etch fret. It is not nearly as elaborate as the Studio 27 fret. That being said, the Studio 27 fret can be kind of hard to get a hold of. You're either ordering it from Europe and paying shipping, or you're getting it on eBay for almost the same price as what I paid for the kit. I pre-ordered this kit. I've been sitting on this kit since April. Actually, they released it in April. I think I may have actually gotten it shipped to me in May. But I've been sitting on this one for a while. I'm really excited to get started on it. Now, this is a fairly large box. I had to zoom the camera out to get the box to fit in the frame. So we're going to go ahead and get this opened up and see what we got inside. Body. Now I have gone ahead and opened and just looked through the frets. I haven't done any work on the frets. I have done some work on the body. Mainly what I've done is just rescribe the panel lines, because at the same time that this came in, I got my Tamiya engraving tool with the 0.2mm bit on it, and I wanted to try it out, and so I just played with the panel lines, jumped them a little bit, so I had to do some sanding. So it's not a completely clean review, but it's not like I've done any modification to the body yet. So it's pretty close. We have our main bag with all of our sprues in it. The sprues are not individually wrapped. We have another bag that contains our glass sprue, as well as our decals and our photo etch. And we have our instructions. So I'm going to go ahead and get everything unwrapped, and I'll be right back. Let's go ahead and start with our body. Casting is pretty clean. There's not appeared to be any flash anywhere that I can tell. Mold lines are pretty good, but like I said, I did go ahead and rescribe them, mostly because I wanted to play with my scribing tool. Now, I will be opening this up. There's actually a grill that goes in here, like a honeycomb mesh grill. So I'm going to open that up and open that grill up. I'm also thinking about opening up these lower grills and replacing them with some metal mesh. I don't know about that, and here's why. There's some body modifications I kind of want to do, not a whole lot. I did a lot of modification on the last build, and I kind of want an easier go of it, but I do kind of want to open up these meshes and open up the back mesh. There's an engine in this kit, so I kind of want to actually cut the body along this panel line and make it so that the back end of the body can come off so that you can see the engine, but I'm not sure I'm going to do that. It's only the top and the bottom of the engine, so there's a panel that has the top of your engine on it, and then there's, you know, the bottom of the chassis has the bottom of the engine in it, but there's nothing really in the middle. There's a few parts in the middle, but not much. So if I do open it up, you'll see that it's not a full engine, but there's some nice detail that could be done to the top of the engine. I am just starting a job with Amazon. It's seasonal warehouse work, but I'm making less than half of what I was making configuring cell sites, so I still do not even remotely have the money if I botch this body up to replace it, which means if I do mess this up, I will end up having to scratch the build, or at least set the whole build on hold until, you know, such time as I can buy another kit. So I'm kind of scared of cutting this body. Part of me wants to, part of me doesn't. We'll have to see. We have our tires, nicely molded. We did the injection on the inside, so there's no seam around the tires anywhere. They are not branded tires. That saves on licensing costs, I suppose. And the tires do appear to be wider in the back than in the front. They appear to be about the same size around, so they're probably the same diameter wheel. You just got to be sure that you get the fronts on the front and the backs on the back. Next we have the chrome sprue, and the chrome sprue is very interesting for a couple of pieces. This and this are side panels. They're actually vent that go here. Now there is photo etch that replaces this, but these side pieces are body color on the actual car, and the individual slats are black. The other piece that's really interesting is this front bumper piece, because if you look at the actual car, not a single piece of this bumper area is chrome. So why Hasegawa chose to put this on the chrome sprue, I don't know. It's going to have to be stripped. I'm probably going to end up stripping most, if not all of this anyhow, and hitting it with maybe some Alclad or something. We will see. The rear bezels for the taillights, velocity stacks, carburetors. Now what's interesting is you've got these velocity stacks, and then you have like an air cleaner that sits on top of these. Kickoffs for the wheels. I'm going to be doing these wheels in gold. Also on the chrome sprue, there's a couple of pieces that are also very interesting. These are pieces for the mirror. These are the actual mirror faces, and then these are the mirrors themselves. Again, it's very odd that these are on the chrome sprue. Looking at every mirror I could find online, I see three options. There are these mirrors, which are not chrome, they're body color, and they sit on the fenders. So they sit right up here. Some of them have the bullet style mirrors, like I did on the 356, and they sit over here. And then a lot of these cars were released with no mirrors at all. So I'm trying to decide if I want to do no mirrors, if I want to scratch build some bullet mirrors and mount them here. I have seen a couple with maybe one or two photos with bullet mirrors over here, or if I want to just use the kit mirrors and strip them down and paint them body color to match my body. Some suspension pieces, which I may or may not rebuild these using springs. We have the rear window slats, which are nice because these are open. You don't have to cut and clean those out to open them up like they should be. Fender wells. These are the two sides of the engine. Some more shocks. And you get your chassis panel. And that's the bottom side of the engine detail. Has some exhaust pieces. These parts go onto the body and they're molded in black, while this body is molded in this bright green. Put these glue in place right like that. So basically, once I get them glued in place, I'm then going to have to fill this seam to clean this up. We shall see how I choose to do that. I may use super glue, I may use like an epoxy putty, I don't know just yet. It's interesting that they molded these in black though, instead of molding them in the body color. These are the slats that go in the front here on the body, and they're right there on top of the fuel tank. Now these have a photo etch piece that replaces these as well. If I can build the photo etch cleanly, it'll be really nice because there's about 26 pieces to the side, which is the actual number of slats that are on the car. But that's a lot of very small photo etch and super glue, and we'll just have to see. We have your fuel tank, seats. This is that mesh piece that goes in the rear. So I'm going to actually take this and file that back down, and then clean out each of the little honeycombs very carefully. Need exhaust pieces. Our interior tub. Fairly nicely detailed. Bottom half of our dash. And the upper half of the dash. So one more black sprue. These are those air cleaners that I mentioned before. Steering wheel of the Studio 27 photo etch fret has a replacement for the center of that steering wheel, which would be nice to have, but at the same time, this one's really not that bad. This one's pretty detailed. It's not too thick. Might be able to get in there and drill out those holes. Our steering column, pedal set, suspension, and some interior pieces. There's your handbrake. There's a grab handle. Rear bulkhead, suspension, and brakes. Door cards are nicely detailed, and they're detailed high enough that you can get some bare metal foil in there. Probably hit that bottom edge. Get right up there at that latch. Door chassis. And there's the top of the engine that I was telling you about. some suspension pieces, and our plates. We have our glass. This is very clean glass. There's very little distortion at all on the front windshield. It's fairly thin, very clear. For headlights, nice detailed headlights. And some taillights. Rear glass. The rear glass does actually have some imperfections in it. But this really isn't that big of a deal, as where this sits, especially if you don't open the body up, you'll never see the rear glass. You won't even be able to see into it. Now those are going to be a pain. Those are the turn signals for the side. They're going to go right in there. So trying to glue in tiny little clear pieces on that is going to be interesting. We have our decals. They're all very clear. No yellowing at all, which is kind of expected. They're brand new. We have gold and black for all the markings. On the other side, in the same package as the decals, you have a small set of metal transfers. Nice high chrome polish. So you've got your logos in chrome, your Bertone logos, mirrors, as well as some rings in here, and your shift gate. And finally we have our photo etch fret. And some of these go for the eyes, which I'm not going to be doing. These will be going for those vents on the side by the door. And these are all the individual pieces for that front grille, or that front slat, where the fuel tank section is. You have to do these in order. Every one of them is slightly different, and they go in a very specific place, so trying to get them all glued in on that photo etch frame in the right spot is going to be nerve-wracking. And then these are the side slats. So that's it for the unboxing. All in all, I think it's going to be a fun build. I don't want to do too much modification. I kind of want a nice, easy build. But we'll see how that actually goes, because looking at this kit, I can already see things that I kind of want to do. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Should I go ahead and try and cut open this body? Should I risk it? Or should I play it safe? If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button. Also, feel free to leave comments, feedback, critique, or anything else in the comment section below. I enjoy interacting with all my viewers in the comment section and try to reply to all the comments I receive. If you want to catch future videos, please consider subscribing to my channel and make sure you click the bell notification icon so you can be notified when I upload new videos. As always, thank you for watching, keep modeling, and have a great day.